Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, August 28th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, MSTY, SMCI, PLTY, and HOOY. I just heard Roddy the cricket over there in the garage. I feel bad. He probably wants me to go in there. Maybe I'm being too bougie sitting in the office. But next time, we'll see him next time. So hopefully he waits for us. So anyway, who had trades yesterday? Again, if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I don't say that enough, I know. But basically, it's a morning video. We cover the trades. When we go live, sometimes we do some Q&A in the end after we talk about options. So let's start with MSTY and let's get to it before people start complaining. Anyway. Buy to close. All right. So here's the download for MSTY yesterday. So basically they started closing some positions. 54 cents, 55 cents, 59 cents. Then here we go, 56 cents. So obviously chump change. All right. So they didn't pay much to close out these positions. So that tells you that's a profitable trade, which, you know, you'll see when we look into the file. And then if you look, okay, so did they open any new positions? Well, yeah, they opened this 5,000 contracts, and that's it. So they closed out how many? Well, a decent amount, actually, if you highlight these. 27,000 contracts, and they opened 5,000. All right. So what they're doing is they're leaving less attached to covered calls, which could capture more of the upside, of course, if there is any upside, or more of the downside. But yeah, we'll take a look at that. All right, so synthetic positions, we have 5. They did not touch them yesterday, so we'll skip right to the weeklies tab, and we're going to check out how did MSTR perform yesterday. They went down 2.65%, which again, whatever, man. It's been a rough outing lately, and MSTY went down, not all the way with it. It went down 2.25%. So how is that? I mean, it's all right. It's not, again, you can see the day before, they pretty much captured most of the upside. And then the day after, when it went down, it didn't go capture most of the, the downside. So again, the last 2 days, MSTR down 0.27, MSTY down up 0.11. So again, pretty impressive right there. 30-day IV 55.94%. That is a 2% increase from the day prior. 7-day forward IV, it's looking on the up and up, 64%. So that's always good, because this IV, man, it's just been sitting in the 50s. I'm sick of it. It's got to move its ass, All right. So anyway, let's look at the trades. Let's see what they closed out yesterday. All right. Here's the 56 cents. Again, 5,000 contracts. In the end, profit of 1.8 million. But just keep in mind, we just started the 4-week cycle on Monday. So this debit here, this is going to go against the new cycle. Meanwhile, this credit would have gone towards the other cycle. So, when we say profit of 1.8 million, it's not all added into this cycle when we add the new estimate. I think I woke up the child. Whoops. Maybe I should have went in the garage. All right. So anyway, where are we at here? 56 cents on 459 contracts. How you doing? That's another win. They made 175,000. And then we go down here, 10,000 contracts. They paid 56 cents as well. Again, this was all one trade. I had to add it together. They made 4.3 million profit on that sucker right there. So can you dig that? And then here's another 1728, 56 cents. That was a $634,000 profit right there. And more down here, 56 cents. Obviously, again, two more wins, 1.7 mil profit, $1.8 million profit net. So, pretty good stuff. And then we can look at the new trades. What the hell? Oh, down here. Okay. Yeah, because yesterday was 827. So the new trade, they sold a call and bought a call. But if you look at the expiration date, they did move it to next week. They said the hell with this week. Let's just move on to next week. And yeah, bought a call, sold a call, right? Create a call spread. All right. So anyway, we'll take a look at all that when we get to the holdings tab. But look at this, man. Look at this, broski. This is whoo-wee. Again, remember, yesterday was declaration date, and they declared, you know what they gave? They gave you $1, a little more than $1, but they gave you your dollar. And people, maybe they like that. So 15,375,000 additional outstanding shares. Like, what? Who's the whale? Is the whale in the chat right now? Again, we are live on YouTube and live on X. If the whale is here, please stand up. That is a 5.38% increase. So, oh boy. So that's pretty nuts. All right. So let's go over here. See how Misty's doing. How you doing, Misty? Well, Misty's at 1694 MSTR. They closed at 342.06. Let's take a look at the IVs. 30-day IV sits at 55. 7-day forward IV, 64%. Okay, we saw the outstanding shares. Look at that, man. It increased to 301 mil. That's nuts. All right, total net income, 615,000. What does it come to? Basically nothing. Again, give us some time. But right now we are annualizing, or shall we say, if you annualize that sucker, you know, he's already awake anyway, 1.47%. So there you go, Chico. All right, so MSTR funds. So this tab, it's pretty simple. What we do is we look, and do I update this? Let's see what this is doing. BTC. Not B94. Yeah, I have to update this too, obviously. Hold on a second. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, let me pull the latest holdings, which would be B150. See, too many damn formulas to remember. I do this to myself. But yeah, so that sucker's worth a lot of money. But anyway, MSTR, they went down 2.65% yesterday. MSTY went down 2.25. Winter went up 2.58. So again, working as expected. IMST, they went down 2.38%. MST went down 4.32. MS2 went down 2.34. And then MSTW went down 3.25. So Misty for the win. Again, on the down days, a lot of the times, usually it's Misty or IMST taking the win, but Misty, good job there. All right, let's keep this train moving here. Reaction, big red down arrow. It would help if I could talk this morning. Just a reminder, today is ex-dividend date, so obviously the Misty fund will drop by the amount of the distribution, plus or minus movement in the underlying. So hopefully MSTR, it does look green today, actually. So maybe we won't see too much red. But again, you know, I think I saw $15 in the after hours last night. So just keep in mind, you know, that is the drop because you are getting paid. You know, that money's coming from somewhere. So they got to take it from the cash bucket and then pay your asses, right? You wanted the dollar? Here you go. All right. There's the drop. Here it is. All right. And then tomorrow you get paid. All right. Sound good? All right. Now let's start to focus on the next distribution. Group D will declare again in 27 days on September 24th. All right. So we look forward to that. Okay. Payment details. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the end of the fiscal year here. So what do we got so far? Well, we got just some weekly income. We talked about that on the other tab. Not enough to even represent a penny. But extrinsic income, we got a penny. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. All right. So again, we're not going to really, there's not much here. I can show you though. We did get, what did they declare yesterday? Where is it? $3. No, didn't they declare more? What did they declare? Definitely more than $3, wasn't it? I think that was my estimate. $3. What the hell is it? Misty, yeah, 1.0899. 1.0899. Okay. So yeah, obviously they declared yesterday 1.0899. So if you take the total distribution of 1.0899, right, the distribution per share, multiply that by the outstanding shares as of this morning, because again, these are the outstanding shares as of, the close yesterday for people who bought yesterday, and this is the number that qualifies for the distribution. They would have taken out 328 mil from the cash bucket, which would obviously decrease the total assets under management, decreasing the NAV, and hence you see, the drop in share price. So again, how much did they make though in income? Net income, they made 150 mil, and they paid out 328 mil. So again, this would create a debit carry forward of about 177 mil. Are these numbers exact? Who the hell knows? I could have screwed up a day, and I do screw up. There's days I screw up. So these think of this as plus or minus, approximately. But again, there is no holdback of any massive payment for the end of the fiscal year. So let's get that out of our heads. All right. Maybe on PLTY, maybe on HOOY. All right. But MSTY, no, there is not. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that. But anyway, all right, we're on a fresh news cycle, and hopefully, Bitcoin, MSTR, hopefully they do something, man. Let's go. Let's get volatile. Let's move up. Let's do something. This has been lame-o lately. All right, so how's the synthetics doing? Well, I don't know what you want me to say. MSTR is at 342. So you could imagine, we have the lowest synthetic, it's a 375. Even that sucks, right? Even that costs a pretty penny. And then we go to 385, 390, 395, and even 410. And they expire, well, some expire next month, and then some expire in October. So these are a bunch of gold diggers, man. You take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Well, over time, that dig on me. For real, bro. I mean, why do we sing like crazy people? Well, look at the pink. Look at all this pink. This is the lady. She wants 800 mil. 800 mil. Our dudes down here, let's see what they got to pay them. All right. They want 800 mil. The dudes in orange, they got 93 mil. Bunch of broke losers dating out of their league. They cannot afford these gold diggers. So that is why we sing gold digger. All right. It just goes perfectly. It makes sense, right? At least to me. All right. Anyways, let's look at the covered calls. Enough of this nonsense here. How we doing? We gonna win? What's going on here? Let's see. Lowest strike 355, 3.78% out of the money. Not bad, bro. What's our pre-market doing? Hey, there we go. We got some green here. We're up 1.3%. Hey, bring it on, baby. Bring it on. I know our lowest strike is still tight. It's tight, but I think we're at the point where we don't even give a damn. Like, we want MSTR to fly to the moon. But for now, again, we are 3 to 8% out of the money for this week. So we will keep an eye out for that. We do have a trade for next week, which, we're not going to focus on yet, but we will keep an eye. All right. The value of the fund, the assets under management, 4.7 bill. Obviously, this number would have, jumped huge if it wasn't ex-dividend date. But, MSTR went down and it's ex-dividend date, but we did get all those new buyers. But, it sits at 4.7 bill. The NAV, look at this. Did you ever think you'd see MSTY at $15? Well, here it is, $15.84. Closing trade price yesterday was $16.94. That is a gap of 110. Hence the drop of the ex-dividend date. It was $1.08, right? So we always say plus or minus a little bit, just a little bit. All right. So again, it is what it is. Hopefully, this is the bottom. But hey, you never know, man. It could go down to 10. It could go down to 5 for all we know. Who the hell knows? We'll keep an eye out for that. All right, let's take a look at this, the synthetic contract position. No change, 139,615. I haven't double checked that in a while, though, so I probably should. They're selling covered calls on about 87,000. So 62% of the position has covered calls. So 37% is uncappity doodah. So if MSTR goes up, 37% should capture 1-to-1. MSTR goes down, 37% should capture 1-to-1. Plus or minus, as we say. And then obviously the other 62, it all depends on how the covered calls, the credit call spreads, all that works out. They do have credit call spreads, or shall we say long calls attached to the covered calls. And that's 66% of the 62% position, if that makes sense. All right, so that's the coverage on MSTY. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get into the other funds, such as T to the S to the L to the Y. And first, we're going to see if they have a trade. But I got to sneeze. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. SLTY and then ULTY. Where's the T? There's no T. So TSLY did not have a trade. Oh, my God. All right, but let's see how Tesla did yesterday. They went down. They went down 0.59%. TSLY went down a quarter percent. So, okay, we'll take that. We'll take it all the way. Oh, interesting. How kind of you to not work. Let's see if refresh works. Oh, there you go. Good job, buddy. Freaking Google Sheets, All right, so anyway, how's their synthetic doing? They got a 290 and they got a 295. Tesla is at 349. This synthetic expires less than a month away, so they're going to cash this sucker out soon, and they're going to make some serious dough. So TSLY holders going to be happy with their next distribution. All right, how their covered calls doing? Well, that's another story. That's another story. We are 2% in the money on the lowest strike, the 342.50. Even the next strike is in the money, but barely. But good thing we are scattered-do, because the highest strike price goes up to 365, which is 4% out of the money. Is it safe? I mean, nothing. Is anything really safe? We only have 2 trading days, though, so that's the saving grace. We also, let's pull up the pre-market for you guys since we are live. So, and you guys actually, well, the live people may actually care. So we'll take a look here. Tesla is down in the pre-market. They are down 0.21%. But again, it is as of 6:19 a.m. and a lot can change, as you guys know. All right. So, all right, what the heck were we doing? So the assets under management on TSLY, 1.1 bill. The NAV 812, trade price 811. Synthetic on the paper is worth 199 mil, which comes to $1.43 per share. Again, they did not cash this out. This is on paper. What is today? Thursday. I thought it was garbage day. Woo. Oh man. All right. So it doesn't matter they didn't cash it out or not, because they could use this still to pay you on the next distribution, which is declared in 6 days, 1 week away. So look forward to that. 30-day IV, 45%. 7-day forward IV is pretty sweet at 60. So if you use the IV, you'll get paid between 29 and 38. However, I think you're going to get a little more than that. So we'll keep an eye out for that. All right. Now let's go to NVIDIA. I don't think they had trades either, honestly. No, they did not. No trades for NVIDIA. That's okay. Today's Thursday, though, so you know what happens on Thursday. YieldMax works. They work overtime. I mean, they got millions and millions of trades, right? NVIDIA, how you doing? Well, they went down. Well, this is during market hours, right? They had earnings after hours. NVIDIA during market hours, they went down 0.09%. NVIDIA went up 0.06%. Hey, I'll take it, man. But, since they had earnings, I'm going to pull it up right now. I don't know. Last time I checked, they were down. I believe they met their estimates, but not maybe too impressive. So that's why they are down 1.75%. Yeah, nothing crazy. So again, they got through another earnings. But again, we got to wait till the market opens. When the market opens, then we'll see. All right, so let's go take a look at the synthetic and see how they doing. Well, their synthetics, they have 2. They both expire next month, a 165 and a 170. They're doing good. NVIDIA is worth 181. So if they cash them out today, they would make some pretty penny right there. If we look here, covered calls, we got 4, 180 in the money, 0.88% in the money. So this little drop here, hey, fine, bring it, bro. We're gonna win our covered calls, right? You know, the next one, 182, 185, and 187. So again, do you want to win your covered calls or do you want Nvidia to go up? Again, I always say perfect scenario, absolutely perfect scenario. We always go up, but we only go up to the lowest strike price of the sold covered call. So slow upside, slow. That way we win all of our trades and we make money on the synthetic. Make sense? All right. Anyway, let's keep going, baby. We got this. We got this. We're making good progress here. All right. Here we go. NVIDIA, the value of the fund, still not $2 billion. Man, it's taking longer than we thought. 1.9 billion. The NAV is 1704. Trade price the same. Here we go. Synthetic on paper, $1.41. Hey, I'll take that. Give me that. No, you know what I'll take? I'll take the 157 mil. 30-day IV, 43%. Holy crapola. 7-day forward IV. Again, this includes the volatility of the earnings call. 163%. Wow. This is why, you know, trading options over earnings, I say bring it. Although I don't, you know, the only single ticker that I trade myself is a, you know, TSLL or Tesla, right? So I got to take a sip of water. But that's where the premium is, man. And you didn't get too much of a big drop. Like you always think after earnings, you can have a huge drop or a huge jump. But it looks like Nvidia is not really moving too much, which is pretty good. All right, income estimate, 31 cents. And Group B declares in 13 days on September 10th. All right, cool. We're just moving along here. All right, up next is CONY. And you know what that means. Oh my God, no trades. All right, so CONY did not have trades. That's okay. We like no trades. That means we could, you know, cruise right along. Yesterday, coin went up 0.16%. CONY went up more. They went up 0.29%. So great job. All right, let's take a look at their synthetic position. It is a 320 though. Oh no. Coin is at 308. I wouldn't necessarily call this a gold digger, but it could be, right? Because again, it's you know, the lady wants more than the dude can give. So it's getting there, man. It's getting there. So they got 320s on both of them, by the way. One expires next month and the other expires in October. So we'll keep an eye out for that. What about their covered calls? Every single covered call in blue here expires on Friday, and that's tomorrow. Do you believe it's freaking Friday tomorrow already? But that's good because tomorrow's payday then, right? Payday on, well, for YieldMax. Again, now we have every damn freaking weekday covered on the freaking paydays from these fund managers. It is nuts. Did you ever think we'd get here? Holy crap. People getting paid every day. So that means every day is the next dividend day probably, you know, so your portfolios that, you know, up, down, all around every freaking day. I love it. Anyway, so the lowest strike, 312.50, 1.14% out of the money. Oh, that's a close one. Oh, that's a close one, Cletus. All right, should we check coin in the pre-market? I think so. If not, I would get the CONY heads after me. You better check that pre-market. All right, so what do we got here? We are up 0.61%, 310. Okay, we could do that. We could do that. That's all right. So yeah, we are, as I've been saying on CONY, we are 1 to 8% out of the money. So yeah, good. We'll see how it all goes. All right. So how we doing here? I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. We are what? The value of the CONY fund is 1.3 billion. The NAV 692, trade price 692. Synthetic negative, prognosis negative. Again, I don't think no one, you know, you guys got to tell me what show that's from. You know, you guys got to get with it. I assume you know that. I don't think anyone's even said it yet. All right, 30-day IV, 53%. 7-day forward IV, 64%. So IV estimate based on that, 28 to 35 cents. Income estimate, 10 cents. So, yeah, nothing to get too excited about here, but they declare in 20 days. So they got time, but not a lot of time. So, come on, CONY heads. We got to do something here. All right, up next is your boy SMCY. How you doing? I don't think they had trades either, honestly. So let's take a look. No. So, yeah, man, no trades. Oh, I like that. I really do. All right, so SMCI, they went up yesterday, 0.89%. Damn, SMCY only captured 0.6%. Finally, Backyard Prospector with the win. Seinfeld, yes, the best show ever. All right, so 66% capture on that little bitty of upside? Bro, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool, man. Probably because this freaking synthetic. Get this thing out of here, man. Get this $60 synthetic gold digger position out of my face, right? Because I'm wondering now, I know it's supposed to move 1-to-1, but this probably, the call side as the fund moves up in price. Does it really move up that high? Do people really think we're going to hit $60 by 9/19? I don't know, man. Again, this has got to be closed out soon, so we got to pay the gold digger, because as you know, she take my money. Yep. She's going to take our money on that one. That's for sure. That's no doubt about it. Anyway, let's look at our covered calls. Well, it ain't getting much better over here. 1.7% in the money, 0.58% in the money, 0.5% out of the money, and 2% out of the money. So, yeah, we got 4 strikes at least, but, yeah, it's a rough one, but we'll keep an eye. Maybe we'll check some pre-market action and see how we doing. All right, again, Super Microcomputer is the name. They're down. Oh, wow, 1%. So let's see here. Okay. All right. We'll see how this goes, man. We'll see how this goes. All right. So let's move down here. What's the value of this fund? It's 328 mil. All right. The NAV is 1542. Oh, no. The trade price. What happened? 1677. It dropped by $1.35. What's the distribution? I don't freaking know. It's around there. So again, today's ex-dividend date. So that's why it's dropping from the close yesterday, which was 1677, to the NAV today, 1542. So yeah, we drop it. All right, $15. Missed these $15. Good Lord, let's get some green today up in her. All right, synthetic again, it's negative. So let's move on to the IVs. 30-day IV, 56%. Holy moly. SMCI, what? 7-day forward IV, 137%. All right, they must have earnings. Come on, people, help me out. They got earnings? Did they have earnings? Earnings today? Maybe earnings today. After hours? Again, I'm not keeping track of this crap anymore, but I'm just going to look at the IV and assume they got earnings. So the IV estimate based on that, 73 cents to $1.63. Income estimate will be updated this weekend because this week it started a new cycle, as you know. And Group D will declare again in 27 days on September the 24th. All right. Platy time. I believe, no, Platy, I don't think Platy had trades either, but I know HOOY did. HOOY. But let's go to Platy first. All right, Platy is missing, so no trades there. That's okay. Let's go to the Platy file. And, oh, wow, Palantir had a rough day. They went down 2.65% yesterday. Platy went down 1.54%. Okay, well, at least, they didn't go down nearly as much. They beat the underlying by over 1%. So, hell, I'll take that, right? Take that all day. All right, how's their synthetic doing, though? It's still all right. It's a 140. It expires 9/19, and Palantir's at 156. So right now, it's worth some money, man. And, yeah, it's looking pretty. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. All right, so how about our cover calls? We only got 3 strikes. 160 is the lowest, and it's 2% out of the money. The highest is 165, 5% out of the money. I mean, are these safe? Yeah, maybe not. We can look at the pre-market if you want to. PLTR, right? Your favorite ticker. What are we at? Not barely moving. They're down 0.05% in the pre-market. Looks like another lame-o day, right? Boring. All right, so what's the value of this fund? 572 mil. The NAV is 60. Trade price 60. All right, but look at this bad boy. Synthetic is still worth $6.77 per share, even after that big drop yesterday. 30-day IV, 52%. 7-day forward IV, 79. So IV estimate, 246 to 369. Income estimate sits at 54 cents. And Group B doesn't declare for another 13 days on September 10th. So we will keep an eye out for that. All right, now, finally, someone with a damn trade. Hoo-wee, hoo-wee. I'm having too much fun with that. I know it's annoying the crap out of people, I'm sure. But here, let's see. Oh, forced closure here. They had to close out 700 contracts from the synthetic and one of the covered calls. And people probably sold out, right? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, in the end, it was like more of like almost a wash in a way. And then they closed out more calls for the week, 9 cents, 12 cents, 11 cents. And they did not open new positions. Wow. Okay. So they're playing the uncappity-doodah game on Robinhood. So what you hope for, really, you hope for some pre-market upside. Let's see. Let's see. But we're never that lucky. Oh, are we? Are we? Maybe. Again, it's only 6:30 a.m., but they are up 0.89%. So that looks pretty. That looks good. All right, so let's look at the action yesterday. Oh, damn. What in tarnation happened? Robinhood went down 5.71%. What happened? I should know, but I don't know. I don't have time to freaking pay attention. Some people work, right? HOOY went down 5.13%. So they went down a decent amount too, but they're still at a $60 price. So again, you can't get mad at this fund. You can't get mad at MSTY, right? $15. How dare you? All right. How's their synthetic doing? Again, they got a 105. Hood is at 102. And this synthetic, though, it expires in freaking October. So, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Let's look at their covered calls, though. They all expire this week. Oh, damn. They're good, man. They're ready for some upside, man. The lowest strike is 7% out of the money. Come on, man. Come on, Hood. Go up. Their highest strike is 10%. So this is a yeah, I think they're good. That's a good spot to be in right there. What's the value of this fund? Not much, 222 mil. The NAV is 63, trade price 62, 25 cents off, whatever. Synthetic, it's a negative so far, but not by much. 30-day IV for Robinhood is 64%, 7-day forward 68. So between those two, you're looking at 310 to 334. But again, I think they'll pay more. But they don't declare for a while, 20 days away, September 17th. So income estimate, again, yeah, give it time, broskies. All right. So that's the covered call ETFs. Now we got like a little bit of salty ulti action. Now, again, all I'm doing is looking at the trades, see what went in, what went out. That's it. That's all we doing, right? Let's see. Salty got freaking Circle, GitLab, Mongon. This RH is always chilling there. So they made about 94K yesterday, trading some stuff there. And then we got Ulti here. What are we doing? Are we making money? And we made money on Bitmine. That's good. But we lost a lot on IONQ. It looks like we got Capity-Doodah up in her. Damn. They closed out. They lost that cover call. Let's see. Rocket Lab made some money. Reddit made, Reddit, 1.5 mil. Oh, by the way, YieldMax announced the Reddit fund. I believe it's coming out next Thursday, next week. So yeah, another fund to track. That's actually one I would prefer to track on a daily basis, but I would have to eliminate one, and I'm not sure I can. So that's the problem. I just added HOOY. I'm not adding anything else because right now that's 6 funds on top of MSTY. So yeah, get the hell out of here. So I'd have to get rid of one of these other losers. And yeah, I don't think Reddit's popular enough for me to do that. But hey, man, we'll see. We'll see. All right. What is Ulti holding? Anything new? Again, we're just looking at the holdings. We're just looking at the trades. Nothing too exciting, But like I always say, if you want the details, you go to the one, the only, the ETF inspector, right? I think I saw him chatting away. Come say hi to him. He's on the YouTube chat right now. Let's see. I don't see nothing new. So nothing new and exciting on the Ulti verse here. The value of Ulti still sits in the low 3 bill, 3.1 bill, 30-day average IV, 73%. All right, let's go to SLTY. What's up, SLTY suckers? Let's see. I'm not gonna sing it again. I'll do it, every now and then. But I do need to remember the words. All right. But let's see what else we got. We got Circle. Yeah, Lululemon, bougie ass store. Man, we don't care. SLTY. All right, 6 mil. Again, nothing too exciting. Average IV. Again, we're looking for things that stick out, like new funds. If we look at the funds every day, well, hopefully I'll remember what the hell they're holding. All right, so that's the coverage on all of the YieldMax funds. So right now we're gonna go into my options trades because again I add if you're new to the channel, I cover the YieldMax trades and then I talk about my options trades. So again, this whole account here, my entire account, I trade options on. That's all it is. That's all it's there for. It's, and then the options income, it needs to pay the freaking mortgage. All right. The mortgage is coming out on the 1st. That's coming up. So, it's got to come out of the account. So what do you think, man? All right. So let's see again. So MSTY, remember, I did open 2 covered calls. At the time, they were in the money and barely out of the money. And it turns out, again, we still got today and tomorrow. But look, man, it's dropping on ex-dividend date, and the price was at what, $16.94. It's an 18 to 19. I don't think these are getting called away, and that's okay. That's okay. Again, I collected my premium. I keep my shares. So what am I going to do now? Am I going to sell a covered call at $15? I mean, don't count it out. I wouldn't count it out. I'll think about it. But I really want MSTY to recover. MSTR, man, it's like blah. It's blah blah blah. But Bitcoin's blah blah blah. So what can you really do? So yeah, these are probably going to expire worthless tomorrow, but we'll keep an eye out for that. But I wanted to show you in the bottom here. This is where I kind of add how much I need to make on my options trades. Here's the mortgage, $1,300. Before you say it's cheap, it does not include the property taxes, which, by the way, are a complete scam in my state, or the homeowner's insurance. All right. So it's just the mortgage, low interest rate. Keep that in mind too. All right. But keep in mind also, MSTY paid twice this month. Now that I have the actual data, and since I have 600 shares of MSTY in this account, that's going to pay me $1,364. So in reality, MSTY alone paid the mortgage. However, I do have an options goal, which is on one of these other tabs here. Again, this is the Retire Now account, and I have to make $2,209, which is 50% yield. All right, so I have to make that. So I take that number, right, and I subtract out how much I made on MSTY, and that's my options goal, right? So I have to make $845 in options premium this month. And since we have 5 Fridays, I just calculated that. Well, actually, no, I only divided by 4 because average 4 weeks per month. I only need to make $211 in options premium. So keep that number in mind because that will be adjusted on the final page. All right. Does that make sense? Again, because I invest in income funds. I trade options for income so I can make income and use the income. This is all in a taxable account. This is all helping me live and survive now. Yes, I do still have to work full time, but the end goal is I need to make and generate an income, right? Other than my active income, which is my full-time job. All right. So anyway, let's move on to T to the S to the L to the L. Yesterday was interesting. TSLL started out red. It was at what, 1358. I sold a put, long dated put, 9/26 expiration. It was 30 days till expiration actually, and the put was 19% out of the money, man. 19% out of the money. The delta was 0.18, and I didn't put the delta in the other one. Yeah, whatever. It did pay me $42 total for that, and it yielded me about 46%. And then TSLL, again, it wasn't too red, but it did flip green. So then it was at 1375. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell my last covered call, because why the hell not? I'll have every share working for me, right? So I sold a cover call, also long dated, up to the 9/26 date, $19 strike price. And it's 38% out of the money. You know, that's freaking amazing. So what do we got here? I made about, again, I don't know what the delta was. I think it was pretty damn low. If I was to guess, I'd say 0.11. So premium per share, that paid me about 34 bucks, and that yielded me about 30%. So again, nothing fancy, but I got a lot of contracts here. So now if you look, out of my 700 TSLL shares, I have 700, all 700 have covered calls. And so far for this week, I have made $111 on T to the S to the L to the L. Did I make any money on TNA yesterday? No, I did not make a trade yesterday. It was green, and I had no shares to sell covered calls. So, I just got to wait, man. And pre-market, it's up again, man. It's up again. This wheel may be done for. Again, I don't know if I could sell puts. If I sell puts on TNA, I got to go way out in date wise, because I gotta use a lower strike. I can't be selling puts in the 40s. You see what happened last time I did that? My first put here, 42 bucks I got assigned, and then it dropped down in the 20s, right? So, you gotta be smart about it. But anyway, so for TNA, how much am I making for this week? I made 41 bucks. So if I go to the total weekly income, I have made $152. I need to make 211 to meet. No, I'm sorry. I need to make 211. So I need to make. I'm short by 59 bucks, and that's very doable with 2 trading days left. But as you can see, I have a surplus from the prior weeks. The prior 4 weeks, I already made almost $1,000 more than I needed to. So I'm not worried about this stupid $59 anyway. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, now open positions. Again, this is kind of just a little pivot I made to show you, how many contracts I have. I actually have 14 contracts on TSLL, which is nuts, man. It's nuts. TNA, I don't have as many. Should probably put that down here though, right? Column L. It's 5 contracts on TNA, but yeah, I'm having fun, man. I'm having fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Shout out to the Will Warriors, by the way. If you guys have joined the Will Warriors, I can't tell you how grateful I am. Again, we're just going to be a community of, like-minded options investors who, we're going to learn from each other. We're going to get together once a month, have a live Zoom chat, talk about strategies, talk about this, talk about that. And then, of course, I'm going to do my best to trade or show you my trades that I make in real time, right? And then an occasional live stream, an occasional post, an occasional this. But it's just going to be something different that I wanted to start. And we'll see how it goes. If it turns out no one likes it, hey, so be it, man. But, hey, you don't know until you try. But I think we're going to have fun. All right. And if anyone asks, how do you join it? It go under the video, any video, and it says the button join. If you're already a member, I think you have to hit upgrade or something. If you're not, you just hit join and you pick it. So hopefully that helps. If not, if you need any further help, just reach out. Okay, so last but not least, I wanted to update the balance. Again, I don't know if you guys give a crap about the balance update. I don't know if this helps you guys, but if it does, let me know. If you don't care about the balance, I could always delete this tab. I just think it's good, especially when you talk about margin, kind of how margin works in general. It's good to see it in action. All right, so account value, it was what, 55? It's now 54,960. Not too much change there. FYI, I did add an additional $250 to this account yesterday. I did mention I would do that. So if you look at the cash change, that's well, plus I traded some options. It's now 25,772.47. So available cash, 46% of the total balance. Pending puts, I did add a put on TSLL, right? So this number would increase. It's now at 14,000 even. So again, these are the puts that are pending that may or may not get assigned, right? So that leaves me with an actual cash balance of 11,772. Now, withdrawable margin. Now, if we look at this, this went down a little bit, 23,738.47. And then we have tradable margin that went down as well, 79,963.23. Does anyone have any questions about the balance section? Or does anyone give a crap about the balance section? Please let me know. One thing to note, though, if I do let the TNA shares go, because as you may know, if we go to the open positions and we go to TNA over here, I got calls. I got a 33 and a 34 strike price. Look how deep in the money they are. They still haven't been assigned, by the way. I think I said I was going to keep these, to give you an idea, but they are so deep in the money. We're in Thursday now. They still haven't called them, and I'm not rolling them. Should I roll them? Maybe, but the credit is just not worth it. But if I don't roll these, what's going to happen is I'll get $33 a share on one contract and then $34 a share on another contract, right? So I'll get $6,700 cash back into my account. Now, what'll change is the margin, right? Because this TNA, it's 75% margin maintenance, which means I can only borrow on a quarter of it. A quarter of that 6,700, I'm only, it's showing margin for that. So as soon as this gets sold, that goes to cash. Now, cash, I believe it's 1-to-1 for the margin. So my margin balance should increase if these do get assigned. I mean, again, but I'm more interested to see how it works. Like, how much more in the money do I have to be to get early assigned, right? So it's just, I think it's fun to watch. I don't know. I'm having fun. Maybe you're not. All right. So 48 minutes in, we can go another 10 minutes. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Meg says to use more margin. Yeah, no, don't worry. If the market tanks, I'm sure I will be. All right, there we go. Some feedback. Thank you, JD Invest. That sounds like a YouTuber there. All right, TNA, thank you. Wants to see the balance section. All right. Clive just woke up. Damn, late. Who sleeps this late? I mean, damn. Oh, we got a question. Oh, nice. All right. Question about balance section is withdrawal. Let me pull it up, actually. All right. Where is it? Let me zoom out a little so we get the whole picture. There you go. Is withdrawable margin what you could take out for any reason, like a loan? And yes. And what can be, yeah. All right. So I usually mention that. I didn't mention that today. Withdrawable margin, think of that as, yes, what you can use as cash. I think of it as what I can use as bills, right? Same thing, money going out of the account, right? So as mentioned, I pay the mortgage out of this account. So what I always need to make sure is this withdrawable margin number is a number. It's not zero, right? It can't be zero, because what if the mortgage comes due, right? Obviously, in order for this to be zero, the cash would have to be zero. And obviously, I would have exhausted all of the cash and then all of the withdrawable margin. And then if the mortgage tries to come out, I don't want to know what happens. I assume margin call, whatever. But yeah, that's what that means. Trading margin, if I don't pay bills out of the account, if I don't withdraw money out of the account, then I can technically use 79,000, which is crazy. That's a crazy number. However, all my accounts, they pay bills. That's what they're there for. These are income accounts. They pay bills. And what you try to do is you try to reinvest more than what goes out. All right. And you try to build these accounts up on their own. Yes, I try to put some new money in, but you know, you do what you can. So hopefully that answered your question, A1. Just drinking my coffee here. Let's see. By the way, it's out of the LA Appliance mug. Love this mug. I will sleep in a couple hours. Yeah, Miggs is on a completely different time schedule. Will you consider rolling your TNA out and up? Well, if I roll my TNA, yes, it will be out, not up. Because if I try to roll it up, I'm going to end up paying out of pocket. They're not going to give me a credit if I try to roll this up. Even if I go out a month and I try to roll, say, this 33 to a 34, I'm not going to get a credit for that. I'm barely getting a credit rolling it as it is. All right. So that's why I'm not really rushing to roll it, you know, because these are so deep in the money that you'll notice, like, when you get to this point, rolling them, it's just not, sometimes it's just not worth it. Sometimes it's just easier to take assignment. And the last I checked, the 33, that paid me about maybe 20 or 30 bucks. Right. And it's like, okay, that's fine and all. Is it worth it? The yield ended up being like, it was like 10%. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, $3,300, 10% yield. Should I roll it just to collect 10% yield, or can I do better than that? If I get the cash and I sell puts on that money? I think I could do better. So that's kind of why I didn't rush to roll it, if that makes sense. Okay. XPay looks like a banger. Isn't that the Roundhill one? BTC to the moon? Let's see. It don't look like it. I don't know what Grumpy Toad's looking at, but let's hope it goes to the moon. Mig's room, 8 a.m. Monday. Yeah, Monday's Labor Day. I'm still doing the morning show, by the way, with British Hodl this time. So I don't know if you guys know him. He is, we'll call them a Bitcoin extraordinaire. He's all things Bitcoin. He likes Misty. He likes MSTR. Of course, I need to confirm the time and everything with him before I completely get into this. But I'm hoping you guys will still be here, even though it is Labor Day Monday. Obviously, I need to limit my Sunday activity. Withdrawable margin needs to stay lower than, no. Where are we at? Needs to stay lower than, no. So the cash, again, this is my money, right? So think of this, actual cash, 11,000. Once I exhaust it and I use 11,000 in cash, then it'll start using this. Right now, this is not being used. But this will only be used once the actual cash number is 0. So, no, this is not related, this is not moving. It moves with what I'm holding, but it doesn't really, I'm not using it, right? You'll see me using it once this goes to 0, which it has been. In fact, it almost went to 0 last week. Then I'm using the margin, if that makes sense. All right. When moon? I don't know. Good question. We'll ask British Hodl on Monday. He's got a lot to say about Bitcoin. So, think about Bitcoin and MSTR questions. Whole answer at. He's entertaining as hell too, by the way. It's going to be a good one. I know. I appreciate that. Positivity is good. Yeah, me too. How to invest for yourself. Is that a YouTuber? Congrats, America returned. Yeah, market's closed, but doesn't mean we stop working, right? We're still going to do our, our stream. Okay. Just going through some comments, then we're going to end it. There are 544 of you live. I appreciate it. Some on YouTube, some on X, usually more on X. Here's a question for me. What would be your exit point for YieldMax? Have you ever thought of an exit strategy or riding until the wheels fall off? Well, again, I have two accounts. All right. This account is options. I'll sell calls on MSTY all day and let them get assigned. I really don't care. I'm not in love with those. But in the dividend car account, that's where I own MSTY as well. And I own a lot of their weekly paying funds along with other high yield funds. So as far as that account, what is my exit point? There is no exit point. Like, why would I have an exit point? I'm using these funds to pay my bills, right? If I think, I guess, a fund is not working as it's supposed to be, then I guess that's the exit. But, I really don't see that, happening. So I don't have a, exit strategy. I always plan. I'm always going to try to be making income. All right. And right now, it's mostly through YieldMax, at least in that account. Are your bills being paid directly? No. My Robinhood account is completely different. That one, I keep it for Bitcoin and MSTR. So I do a daily buy. I do $10 Bitcoin, $5 MSTR on a daily basis. And that's it. That's all that account is for. And I'm leaving it alone. I have to keep it separate. If I did that in this account, I'd use the money for options. Like, I have to. That's just how I work, though. If I see that money, I'm like, oh, I'm holding Bitcoin, but it's not paying me money, right? Oh, when I can make money out of this, but I'm trying to keep it separate because I do want to own a lot of Bitcoin. Well, not a lot of Bitcoin, but some Bitcoin. All right. Yeah. The I want to I hope he does that for the keyword. Actually, that's my plan. All right. And the accent just helps it. Are you pulling funds to external bank? I'm not sure what you mean. Am I pulling funds to an external bank? Am I depositing money, if that's what you're asking? I'm only putting like $250 a month in each account. Now you're not going to have anything to talk about Tuesday morning. Yeah, that's true. Very true, actually. I didn't even think about that. Maybe you can come on, ETF Inspector. We could talk about Ulti. All things Ulti. We'll call it all things Ulti. There you go. Let me know if you're free. You are welcome, A1. You're welcome. You're welcome, Baz. Reminds me of Baz from that show. I forget what it's called. Animal Kingdom, I think. Question: the return of capital on the distribution charts, are they set or are they are estimates? You don't know what they are in final until the fiscal year is up, and then they'll give you out the annual statements. And you really don't know your own personal return of capital until your brokerage gives you the statement, your 1099 at the end of the year. So yeah, they can estimate all they want, but in the end, it is what it is. But all right, let's see what else we got. All right, thank you. I appreciate that, A1. Yeah, I didn't really think it through about moving it from Monday to Tuesday, but it is it's a Monday morning show, so we work on holidays here. That's how we roll, right? All right, let's keep going. Do another interview. Yeah, exactly. Oh, here it is. What I'm saying is, whenever you go to pay your bills, are you pulling money from your account to an external bank? No, my bills are being paid from the investment account. So, like for example, my Charles Schwab account, I give my mortgage company the routing number and the checking account number attached to the investment account, their brokerage account, and they withdraw the money. Fidelity, it's a little different because they actually do offer bill pay as well. But so some, like my car payment, I do bill pay. I schedule the bill. I tell Fidelity, you pay this person this time each month. For the others, I just give the routing and the checking account number, so they take it out. But yes, these essentially work as checking accounts. If that's what I think that's what you're asking. Ah, yeah, damn. I'll think of something. Well, I'll have to think of something soon. If not, I'll just do, I don't know. I'll do random crap. I don't know. All right, here's a question. Lots of questions. I like it. I got to go after this though, I think. Did I see that Misty made 5 million yesterday, but you're only showing 600 profit for the week? Am I wrong? Misty made what? 5 million? Let's see. 747,000. I'm not sure where you got 5 million. Are you talking about the holdings? Let's see. No, that wasn't 5 million either. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you're referencing. All right. Statements. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure when it came out last year. Thank you, Sheila Stacks Sats. I hope you're there Monday because you're a Bitcoiner. Will Ulti ever see 650? Sure. Why not? Anything's possible, right? Thank you, Wolf. Yeah, no, you'll be entertained. We'll most likely, yes. Could it change based on baseball schedule? Yes. I don't, again, that's the tough part. So again, but the good thing is like the videos that I make, they will be posted and, to watch later. But obviously, yeah, if Saturday at 10 a.m. never works for you, then that kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, I think we're at the end of the video, guys. What do you think? What do you do? What do you say? All right. Thank you all for being here. I know it's just a random Thursday. Blast. Not as exciting as Declaration Day. I get it. So let's do some closeouts. As always. Oh, wait. We got a question. When you say cap-itty-doo-da, cap-itty-day, cap, what a wonderful day. That's not what he typed, but I had to do it. Are you saying the stock price has passed the call strike price? Yes, absolutely. So yes, that's when I joke. I say capity-doo-da. I know some people hate that word, especially at YieldMax, right? Capity-doo-da. We are capity-doo-da. But, what else you want to call it, But it is what it is. So what was I doing? As always, not financial advice, obviously. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is simply for fun and entertainment. So I hope you had fun. I hope you're entertained. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. You just got to come back tomorrow and try to be entertained, or at least pretend to be entertained, right? We'll do our best, all right? Again, we're just covering trades on a spreadsheet. How much entertainment can that really be, right? But it's important that we understand how these funds work. We're investing our money in these funds. Shouldn't we know what the hell they're doing, right? That's what I think. But yeah. Anyway, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and someone will get back to you. No, I'm kidding. I mean, maybe I'll get back to you, but we'll see. But that being said, if you don't have a comment, you still got to do the keyword. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, how loud was that? That probably annoyed the crap out of people. That I was trying to be like what's his face, Jim Carrey, and Dumb and Dumber. You got to say the keyword. What is the keyword? All right. Check the closed out trades on MSTY. I just did. That was the closed out trades. Right here. I'll highlight them here. Total up 747,000. So that's it. All right. I'm not sure what you're looking at. Exactly. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? All right, now you guys are gonna leave me. But all right, it's keyword time. So if you made it this far in the video, what's the keyword? Does someone have anything? Do we got anything? Come on. Come on, Cletus. Yeah, blame that noise on LA, by the way. That was his fault. All right, I got to get my ass to work. So let's hear a keyword. That's awesome, Nikki. If you annualize that sucker. There you go. There's a perfect keyword, Vladi. Great movie. My wife may think otherwise, but I love stupid movies. Dumb and Dumber, right? So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it to myself and everyone else here, you got to type in a freaking keyword. Keyword today is Dumb and Dumber. Great movie. Classic. Yes, classic. I said it. All right, that's it. So you got to type in the comments on YouTube and X, Dumb and Dumber. Yes, you got to do it on both. All right, we got to make you work double time today. All right. Sound good? All right, I'm out of here. I'm getting my ass to work. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. sharp. All right, sound good? Later.